YouTube, what's up? Riz here, back with some more NFL draft coverage. Today I'm going over my quarterback rankings for this draft class. Going to eventually do each position and updated mock coming this week. Kind of waiting on these last few top free agents to sign just so I'm pretty clear on that mock. And then I'll be doing separate videos for each team and a mock for those teams. Multiple rounds, and it's more of what I think would be a great draft for that team rather than my normal mock. It's kind of what I think will happen. So, quarterbacks today, ranking my quarterbacks. My number one quarterback is Deshaun Watson, and it'll remain Deshaun Watson. Not going to budge on that. A proven winner, a guy with experience. Came in as a freshman, really liked him then. I knew he was going to be something special in the future. And people kind of been bashing his accuracy, which I don't understand. He's an accurate thrower. A few mistakes, few interceptions he needs to work on. But especially in this draft class, kind of on the weaker side, but I think still better than people think. But again, on the weaker side, I think he's the best quarterback. And an example for a team that I would think be much better with him is the Chicago Bears. There's plenty of teams, but Chicago Bears picking 3. Will they take Watson? Probably not. There's plenty other players that would be a good pick there too. But problem with the Bears over the past years has been lacking a winning quarterback. Jay Cutler, prototype quarterback, has all the tools, kind of kept the Bears out of games with the last-second interception when they were winning. And even when Cutler was out, they've been in games this year with like the lack of a solid roster. They've been in games that people would think they would lose no problem, and at the end, quarterback play would be questionable, and they would lose the game because of that. So I think getting a winning quarterback in there could be the answer. They could go with a few other quarterbacks, depending on if they decide to go in rebuild mode or not. I don't think they want to be in rebuild mode. So that's an example of one team. I think there's plenty of teams that would love to have Deshaun Watson or should have Deshaun Watson in there to make their team better. My number 2 quarterback is Patrick Mahomes II from Texas Tech. Kind of a guy I got a feeling on. Just a feeling on him. Really like him. The only flaw with Patrick Mahomes is his technique. His technique is off. His footwork is off. The way he throws the ball is off. But he does it. He gets the job done, and not just gets it done. He gets a job done well. Just carried his team. Doesn't have any real weapons on Texas Tech, and his defense is by far the worst Power 5 defense in the year in the past few years at Texas Tech. So he lost games at Texas Tech because of the defense, not because of him. So I kind of give him a pass on the winning side of this, because Deshaun Watson obviously wins that. But Mahomes, I give a pass because how bad that defense was. But really good deep passer, has mobility, and a guy that I compare him to that I kind of oddly really like is Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. I mean, he's bigger, he's stronger, he can throw way better arm, I should say. Better arm than Johnny, less mobile, but is still mobile. Just the way he moves out of the pocket and throws the ball reminds me of Johnny Football. And I know there's people that think Johnny Football is a bust, but he was a bust off the field, as I would say. Still could have been a good player. I know he's trying to make a comeback. Still could have been a great quarterback on the field. We don't really know. But Mahomes, I really like. I got a good feeling about him. My number 3 quarterback is Mitchell Trubisky, North Carolina quarterback. Showed flashes of greatness, actually. Inconsistent, though. The bowl game against Stanford started off very bad, kind of held his team out of it, some bad picks. And that last drive, though, to have a chance to tie it, they actually scored a touchdown. It was ridiculous. Trubisky just if you just watch that drive, you think that's the best quarterback in this class, no doubt. He has it. And he's lacking experience, though. The big question is, why was he behind Marquise Williams, who was an undrafted free agent for so long? That is a big question. But an accurate thrower, can move, obviously can throw. Just really the lack of experience and the inconsistencies, just like in that bowl game. And that brings me to number 4, DeShone Kizer. I know most people don't have him at 4. But the reason I have him at 4 is just like Trubisky, inconsistent, but more inconsistent. Not the most accurate quarterback, under 60% completion percentage, and that doesn't change. That's not something that changes. That's a stat that kind of stays the same from college to NFL. Could change a little bit, so that's concerning. Deep ball is beautiful, though. Great deep ball, shows flashes. My problem is he had one of the best offensive lines in college football at Notre Dame. One of the best. And he kind of just stood back there for a while, not knowing what to do. Sometimes he would act like he was getting rushed. Wasn't really. He is mobile, can run for a big guy. But what goes through my head is if he is an average or below average offensive line, what is going to happen? But a lot of upside out of the guys. This guy Kaiser probably has the most potential, but it's pretty far from it. 5 years from now, he could end up being the best quarterback in this class, but I'm not one to rank a guy like that higher. I know some people will, but a team like the Texans, I can see the Texans having Kaiser or Mahomes. They're 1-2. I can easily see that. It really depends on the team, but a team that wants to throw deep, has the receivers to go deep, and they happen to have Will Fuller, who Kaiser was better with 2 years ago rather than this year, so that actually can be something if he fell to the Texans. I do like Mahomes as a fit there as well, but there are certain teams that are going to have different rankings, and I usually wouldn't really agree with that. I usually have the same 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks, but this year it's going to be different rankings for each team as it should. But Kaiser, ton of potential. If I'm a rebuild mode team, yeah, then maybe it's okay to take Kaiser. Like the Niners, I think should be in full rebuild mode. Maybe he can sit behind Hoyer. Even though he might be better than Hoyer right away anyways. And 2 would be too high to pick him, I think. But that's where Kaiser falls. A team that maybe is in rebuild mode, needs to work on his accuracy, on normal passes, short routes, stuff like that. But that brings us to my number 5 quarterback, which is Brad Kaaya, Miami quarterback. Very close between him and Davis Webb. I know a lot of people like Davis Webb. Supposedly, there's a GM in the league that is very high on him, says he could potentially be a first rounder, which is insane to me. But Davis Webb is more pro-ready than Brad Kaaya, but it's very close. Brad Kaaya has more potential, so that's why I give Brad Kaaya the edge, because it is close for pro-ready and high potential. After Brad Kaaya played Notre Dame, I remember watching that game. It didn't look good. At that point, he was kind of known maybe to be in the mix for the first round, but after that game, he was kind of scratched off as a first rounder. But people don't realize after that game, he turned it around. The last, I want to say, 4 games of the season, very accurate, a lot of touchdowns, won games, got the team to a bowl game. He played very well in the end of his career at Miami there. So very impressed with him. Not really a big turnover guy either. He's kind of a safer quarterback. I know some teams with good defenses like that. So I like Brad Kaaya at my number 5. Mainly going to just cover my top 5 there. That was the whole purpose. My top 5 quarterbacks. Like I said, Davis Webb next in line. Gerard Evans is a guy that I think is raw but has a ton of potential. Josh Dobbs is more of a sleeper. People are higher on Nathan Peterman than I am, but still a good quarterback. Like his ability to throw downfield as well. Wasn't a fan of throwing short routes. Got the job done with that high-powered pit offense by throwing downfield. And Chad Kelly would obviously be higher, but off the field issues. He's another inconsistent guy too, but his play against Alabama is very impressive. But there you have it. Watson 1, Mahomes 2, Trubisky 3, Kaiser 4, Kaaya 5. That's my top 5 quarterbacks. We'll be doing running backs next time. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for other mock drafts, all kinds of NFL draft coverage. Twitter is at @frogs_angels. Please follow us there. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want more. That'll do it. Goodbye.